What's going on? What's going on? Damn. So Canelo just had his little fight against his sparring partner, the person that gets him ready for his fights on a regular basis. And as it shouldn't be a shock to anybody that he was able to be victorious in the fight. Um, Yildirim looked slow as hell. There was no kind of power in his punches, nothing. It didn't look like he was trying to do much of anything. He was just pretty much covering up for 2 rounds. Got dropped one time, and something happened, and he just didn't get out the corner for whatever reason. Didn't look like he was that hurt or that damaged to the point where he needs to stay in that corner. But I mean, it is what it is. No, Canelo's doing his thing, but it's trash. That fight was complete trash. And you can be a Canelo fan or whatever it is, but you still gotta live in reality. You know what I'm saying? The guy just faced his sparring partner. Um, DAZN just paid $20 million for this, which is mind-boggling that you would invest that type of money in this in that. They invested for a fight that lasted probably 2 rounds against that super low tier fighter, and they invested $20 million in that. 20 M's, and I guess now Canelo Alvarez for his next fight is going to be taking on Billy Joe Saunders. Um, I'm not sure if that's going to be. I'm guessing it's probably going to be in Miami. I'm guessing they're going to want to have it in a place where you can still have a crowd. Maybe Texas, but I'm guessing they might do Miami. Miami, that's about a 6-hour flight from the UK. So if depending on what restrictions are going on, maybe they can get some people from the UK to come watch the fight if it's in Miami. But this is what it is. And I've said it before. I'll say it again. I cannot blame Canelo if these morons are going to continue to pay him a ridiculous amount of money to fight lower tier fighters. Why shouldn't he? I mean, they're paying this guy 20, before they were paying him 30 plus million. Now they're still paying him $20 million to fight nobodies. You're still not getting any kind of return on these funds. You still could have set up a whole lot of better other fights than this for those type of money. Why not put up $10 million and have Charlo come over there and fight a Demetrius Andres? Why not put up $10 million? People talking about, oh, Teal's asking too much, fight Devin Hay too. You telling me $20 million to fight Yildirim is better than if you had paid $10 million for what's it called? For that boy to come over to the UK, to come over to DAZN to fight in a undisputed bout. Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Haney, two of the top fighters in the world, in the world in that weight class, taking it on each other. They could have did that. You could have paid Gervonta Tank Davis to come over there and maybe fight a Ryan Garcia. You've been better off saying, hey, I'm going to give Ryan $10 million and I'm going to give Gervonta Tank Davis $10 million and have them fight on the zone. You've been better off doing something like that and you got a whole lot more viewership than what you just did. You got a whole lot more bang for your buck than what you just did. But this is how they want to spend their money. But again, I can't blame the guy if I'm in my 30s and I'm getting paid $30 million checks to fight low tier fighters. This is a million pay-per-view fight type of money that I'm getting. And then now, got this stuff taken care of. So now I'm not giving Golden Boy 20%, 30%, whatever he was giving. Well, I'm sure it was a whole lot more than that because they said 93% of the revenue that came from Golden Boy came from Canelo Alvarez fights. So there's all kinds of money they were taking from that boy. But now I'm all in my pocket. So even though 20 million is not 30 million because I don't have these hands in my pocket, I'm still probably making about the same amount that he's trying to fight 4 times in 1 year to make up for the money that he lost while he was on the sidelines. That's why he's fighting 4 times in a year. And these morons in DAZN are willing to pay him top tier money to fight these bums, these low tier fighters, or these lesser champions that we've seen in distress. We've seen them have issues. These are distressed assets. He's fighting, let's say, champions that are distressed assets. Guys that we've seen get hurt. We've seen Billy Joe Saunders not look good in his last couple of fights. That's who he's fighting next. He just fought Yildirim, who lost his last fight. That's who he just fought today. Before that, he fought, one of the brothers, Smith or whatever. Smith, who hasn't, he's on the lower tier of the 168-pound division. That's who he faced. That's who he faced. He faced a guy that's in the lower tier of that weight class when it comes to the champions. That's who he faced. But the zone is paying him top tier money to face these guys. That's what these morons are doing. So as long as these morons continue to do that, I guess I don't know. I guess you can't blame them. But at the same time, we also have to call it what it is. We can't call you amazing. We can't call you spectacular. We can't call you that because you're beating these guys. Because these aren't the premier guys. These aren't the cream of the crop guys that you're facing. They're not. So because of that, it is what it is. But after this stretch is done, I guess we'll see what happens after that. Is he going to take on a Benavidez? Is he going to take on a Caleb Plant? Is he going to take on those guys? Those top tier guys in that division? Is he going to take on a Charlo? Is he going to go down to 160 to face Charlo? Fight Charlo at 168 pounds? Because those are the guys that we want to see him fight. He's already said he's not going to fight Benavidez. He's, quote, not going to fight his countrymen. So now that's already one top tier fighter that we already know that he's not going to face. We already know that fight's not happening. So are we going to get the other ones? Is he going to fight a Demetrius Andrade? I don't think so. Don't see that fight happening. Don't see that fight happening at all. And shout out to Demetrius Andrade, who supposedly was going to get that Saunders fight. Now that fight's also been given to Canelo Alvarez. So Eddie Hearn has all these American fighters and just can't seem to get him any big fights. Getting everybody else big fights, but can't get those guys big fights. But they continue to sign to him and stay with him. So I guess can't cry for any one of them. It is what it is. But there's not much to say about this fight. What happened is what you should expect to have happened. This is what happens when you fight a lower tier fighter. This is what happens when you fight the guy that you work consistently with as your sparring partner. This is what it looks like when you fight your sparring partner. So I guess on to the next. But for now, like, subscribe, share. I'm out.